It says God was tempted in all points like as we are, but his temptation was different, or at least it outlined what temptation is really about. Because to be tempted, it means he could have failed, but in a sense, he could not fail because he had perfect love for God. And no one can love God perfectly except himself. And that's why we know it's not, God had to be several people, because there could not be love without an object of love. There could not be love without a choice to be made, that initial choice that there would even be another person besides himself. So that was the very first act of love, was that he would create someone other than himself. So yes, he was tempted, but he could not fail because his love was so great. He made a decision to create us, so he could not fail. The love was greater than the temptation. And to the extent that we understand that love, we can make the same kinds of decisions. We can conquer whatever it is, temptations, fears, or whatever, but we are not God in the flesh. We were flesh first, and then God came into our being, but God was God first, and he took on flesh. That's why he had total supremacy, total sovereignty, total dominion over that flesh, even though that flesh was tempted. But God loves as only he can love, as in perfectly. We can understand it from the imperfect point of view, but we can't understand the magnitude of what it is to love the way he does. For the second greatest act of love was to become one of us. First was to create us, to create someone other than himself when he had need of nothing, and then to become one of us and give that life for us. But he could only do it because he could only give himself for us because it's in the context of that love, of what love really means. Love is about putting someone else above yourself. And that is what he did. That is how he overcame the temptation. It was because the love was first manifested in our creation, and then it was continued or extended in that he could not bear to see his creation go to destruction. So he had to succeed. He had to overcome. He had to resist all temptation, because that was the only thing that love could do.